Hello, welcome back. This is not going to be a regular podcast because it's been a very hectic and busy few weeks in my life, and I haven't had the chance to record anything, but I wanted to just kind of speak on what's been going on these past few weeks as you watch me live my day to day or a few days in my life. Lately, I've been praying to the Lord, Lord, can you teach me how to love well? And what he keeps doing that I've noticed is that he keeps pointing out things in my heart that I am hard on myself with. He keeps pointing out the parts in my heart that I am either holding resentment or that I am holding such high expectations of myself. Honestly, it's not even resentment towards other people, and sometimes it is, but most of the times it's these high expectations of myself and literally not being able to rest or not giving myself the ability to rest in his presence because I fear that if I'm not doing something, I am going to fall behind or I am going to be abandoned or failure, and so even though this is not a podcast where we're going to talk about the Bible much, this is revelation coming through the presence of Jesus as he is responding to my prayers. And the way that looks like is he's literally been asking me to accept that I am loved by him. And in order for me to accept that I am loved by him, I have to accept who he is, which is a loving God, which is a holy God, which is a God who wants the best for me, which is a God who corrects me because he wants the best for me. And he has completely taken over my life. He has completely taken over my decisions, my finances, my mind, my desires, and I see this more and more in my life as I feel myself being constantly changed. And I see prayers that I have been praying for the past few months literally come to life right in front of my eyes, and I can't help but be grateful because if you ask him to change you, if you ask him to mature you, if you ask him to help you be responsible, whether it be in the decisions that you're making or the finances that you're spending or maybe budgeting, like whatever it is, he will literally expose whatever is beyond those decisions, whatever the reason is beyond the choices that we are making in our day-to-day life, whether it be distraction, whether it be choices being made from trying to fill voids, decisions that we make from trying to escape, or whatever the reason being is. If it is not a pure and responsible and coming from a motive where we are doing the best, or how do I say this? If it's not coming from a place where we are growing and we're actually just, again, trying to avoid growth or trying to fill a void, he will literally expose it. And that's what he's been doing to me. And he's just been continuously pruning. And this can be seen in friendships and relationships. And it's been almost a year since I've come to Christ, and it has been the most life-changing year of my life because his holiness literally exposes myself. It's so crazy how when you come to this beautiful, majestic, holy, holy, holy God, there's not much that he has to say for you to change your ways. It's just his presence alone makes you want to be better for him. And it's not even out of a way of performance, even though I have definitely done that and been that person in this walk. I think it's mostly like his holiness and his beauty and his kindness and his tolerance and his gentleness, his patience automatically makes me want to be a better person. But he also reminds me, like, there's times where I just don't allow myself to rest. And there's been a couple of weeks prior to when you're listening to this where I force myself to overload myself with work so that I could feel accomplished. And something that he's been literally ripping out of me has been the inability to rest. So he's literally forced me to take naps, which I do not do, but that is the way that he is teaching me to love myself, that he's going to love me whether or not I accomplish the to-do list. And if you're like this, I want to say that I'm pretty sure it comes from your childhood or your parents or watching other people over exhaust themselves with work. But I've learned that the Lord is slow to anger. And if he's slow to anger, then it means that he is, I think, naturally like gentle. He's slow to anger. So he's just not in a rush, And so that's something that I've definitely been learning these past few days. And it has helped me so much. He's also been exposing that if I want to love others well, I literally have to have so much grace for myself so that I can be able to extend that. And the minute that I think, okay, I think I'm doing good, he just brings up like another version of me that is being hard on myself. So I have to be even more gentle. And I think one of the biggest lessons that I've learned has been to be slow, intentionally slow with everything I do, with the way that I speak, with the decisions that I make when I wake up, to just be present before I reach my phone, to just be present and to just be with him in his presence, to pray to him, to talk to him about my feelings and my thoughts, to read the Bible and dissect every single verse, not just so that I can get it out of the way, but to really sit with it and internalize it so that it could be renewed in my mind, so that it could be pierced through my soul the way that the Word of God says. The Word of God has the ability to pierce through our souls, but if we are not even putting our soul into it, rather we're just checking it off our to-do list, and it does not, we don't give it the opportunity to do what it's supposed to do, right? So recently I've just been really slowing down, even like my grocery shopping. As you could see in the video, I've just been more mindful about my meals, and rather than just going to HEB or going to the grocery store to get whatever I need and getting out, I have now been sitting with myself and writing down the meals that I know that I'm going to eat so that my food doesn't spoil, and buying just enough for the week so that I make sure that the food in my fridge is all gone before I have to make another grocery trip. And it has been helping me so much. It's made me feel more stable. It's made me feel more in control of my money and in control of my decision making, in control of my diet. Anyways, this video is over now, so I'm gonna log off, but I just wanted to remind you that in order for us to love others well, we have to first accept the love of the Father. And the love of the Father is gentle and it's kind. And even though he disciplines us sometimes, it's because he loves us and because he's kind. He truly knows what's best for us. And truly, I would not be the woman that I am today if I would have not surrendered my life to him. And because I have been surrendering myself to him, I love who I'm becoming. Even though it's still a long journey to grow and mature, I love God because he has made me love myself. Like when I hated myself, he was there. When I hated myself, he loved me. And I have to accept that. And then I can learn to love others.